Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. We are today featuring a tournament fight from the latest one on GameReplays.org, their silver tournament or something like that. It shall be in one half, it shall be BartonPL fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 11th Armoured versus CommentatorNoggano, fighting for the 16th Volksgrenadiers Division. Yes, indeed, a very elite unit. Well, not really, but we can always have a bit of fun. And they are fighting on a map called Bayeux, or Bayeux. I'm not entirely sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. I'm not French, but it is going to be an interesting fight. Right here, of course, on one of these sort of tournament maps, not specifically made for it. Or were they actually? I'm a bit unsure on that, to be honest. Doesn't matter though, it is a bit made by some community fellows. If you want to know how to find it, go look at GameReplays.org. That's the best instruction I can give you. Anyways, we are seeing a Volksgrenadier on the way from the Wehrmacht quarters, 2 pioneers right there, and 2 engineers from the Americans. So far, I mean, a pretty conservative start from either side. Riflemen, Volksgrenadiers, infantry with some engineer or pioneer units for support. So far, so good. But I mean, again, nothing, hugely innovative or sort of mind-boggling, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Both players sort of going for the fuel for all the points right next to it, although the Volksgrenadiers do seem to be... in fact, the Wehrmacht commander seems a bit more aggressive, a bit more bold, using units to go for the points while others are connecting, but again, so are the American commanders. Oh dear, and of course the Americans do have the advantage in that riflemen can take points faster. Second unit out for Noggano is a Volksgrenadier squad as well. Pioneer securing munitions there. Victory point going, a bit of a victory point rush. And the second unit out for BartonPL is in fact a bit of a surprise. That's a Jeep. Not necessarily a bad thing. Of course, it can be used for reconnaissance, but of course can also be used for harassment, which of course could be quite viable in this case, since Noggano's pioneer squad on the right is rather on his lonesome, although these engineers themselves are running in some Volksgrenadiers with the rifles and the one Sturmgewehr on single fire mode. And there we go, the engineers being run away. Pioneers coming under fire from the Jeep, 30 caliber firing away. Riflemen are nearby as well. Volksgrenadiers moving up here as well. So far, Noggano does seem to be trying to keep his Volksgrenadiers a bit together, but there we go. Getting caught in the ditch. Riflemen are moving in. Volksgrenadiers pulling back. Others are moving up to support. Pioneers rushing into the house to seek protection from the Jeep, perhaps? No. And there we go, Jeep moving in to try and probably push around. The Volksgrenadiers, a bit of a nasty trick some players do like to use. Riflemen getting pushed back, Volksgrenadiers pushing up, or are they? Come on, los geht's. Dear, Pioneers coming under fire, Jeep pushing a bit away. Will the Volksgrenadiers link up? Soon there will be reinforcements from BartonPL's. Pioneers finally getting into the house, but it might be a bit too late. MG42 ready, Pioneer down. Volksgrenadiers being a bit sluggish, come on. Move it, left foot, right foot, you idioten. And there we go. Finally arriving. Americans are then of course quickly escaping. MG42 ready. Additional riflemen ready for Barton, who's definitely pursuing the slightly more aggressive strategy. Noggano could take up some Volksgrenadiers in this position, but no, they are retreating. What shall Noggano do instead with his 16th Volksgrenadiers? Additional Volksgrenadier squads on the way. Riflemen coming under fire, taking some damage. Taking quite a bit of damage, in fact, riflemen down. And we are seeing some riflemen sneaking up in the north. MG42 covering the crossroads right here. Could be what the 16th has been ordered to hold right there, in fact. Pioneers sneaking about with a flamethrower in the north. Quite interesting. No mines from Noggano, so rather it seems. Going here for the cutoff point, of course. Going for the fuel point for a bit of harassment. Looks like BartonPL looking to do something nasty right here. Will the MG42 be able to stop them? We'll be seeing additional Volksgrenadiers, an MG or perhaps a sniper. We'll be seeing the skirmish phase out for Noggano. Looks like we are seeing a small assault force being ready to stop the Americans right there, while the Volksgrenadiers are being held up a bit. Mines going down though for Noggano. Riflemen moving in. And we could be seeing more units on the way there, or we could be seeing an upgrade. 3 riflemen so far, and a jeep taking up position right there in the house. That's going to be a problem. There we go, riflemen getting attacked and retreating. And we are seeing an additional machine gewehr coup on the way. Pioneers and engineers and jeeps hanging about a bit. Riflemen and other engineers could be going down here for a bit of further harassment, or they could be, yes, they are mining right here the road, not a bad move, and mining the entrance to the building. Barton, you devious bastard. Bunker going up for Noggano. MG holding out the right flank, building a bunker in the middle of the road, not necessarily the best idea. Volksgrenadiers versus the riflemen right here, 15 versus 6, that's not necessarily good numbers for the Americans. But there we go, riflemen down. Will the Volksgrenadiers push onwards to try and take the building? Ooh, riflemen dropped. Rather heavy Volksgrenadier fire as well. Noggano flanking up a bit there. No idea if he's talking to me or Barton. But again, I cannot respond while I'm watching a replay. And there we go, BAR's up for Barton. That's definitely going to cause a bit of a problem. Much heavy fire. There we go, MG getting flanked. Flamethrowers hitting the rear. Flamethrowers hitting another side as well. Rifleman though hit a mine. Oh, he's getting the troops into the bunker right as the flamethrowers hit. Oh, no. That quickly ended up in a barbecue. And we are seeing a defensive doctrine up medic bunker on the way. Pioneers trying to take on the rifle, but they might get lost as well. Oh, heavy losses for Noggano right there in the first few seconds of this little engagement right there. He's certainly lost a lot, whereas BartonPL's losses have been nowhere near the same. Riflemen still holding the house, although they are evacuating. Medics pulling in the wounded. Well, what few wounded there are that haven't been turned into a crisp. Riflemen though are not fully retreating, though they are setting up for delay action. That's good. That could certainly ensure that Noggano won't be taking as much territory as he possibly could. We are seeing Kafkaf sent up. We're seeing another MG squad up to replace the one lost. Riflemen continuing to rush in. Come on, get into that building, Noggano. Better than being in light cover, mate. Although good position here, flanking the riflemen right there in the cover, denying them their use. But again, that house right there would be a nice spot to move. And sadly, Noggano though moves a bit too late. But again, the Volksgrenadiers here are doing a nice job forcing away the riflemen. Losses are being incurred. Medics moving in to pick up the wounded. Veterans here on the way, and he is going for both Veterans 1 for the infantry and the support units. And of course, for infantry, it just gives a bit of healing. It's great, but it's not going to turn around the war. On the other hand, the MG42 Veterancy one that gets that actually increases accuracy and makes it fire faster. So that's actually quite a boon in that way. So definitely not a bad Veterancy upgrade. And there we go, though we are seeing an assault moving in from BartonPL, using the jeep of course to harass, cause a mess, a fuss. Flamethrower engineers leading the way, riflemen setting in from several flanks. Volksgrenadiers trying to lay down barbed wire, but it's a bit too late. They will need to retreat, some of them. Jeep taking heavy fires to try to clear out the MG42, and we are seeing a full retreat from the front by Noggano. He's simply getting overwhelmed. Jeep's getting pushed away, overrun. Oh dear, he could even be losing this MG42 again. No, we are seeing for the fatherland to give it. Oh, and veterans. Oh, a mine even stopped some of them. Quite a nice little combination that right there saves Noggano's MG42. Medics though are paying the price as they are getting gunned down viciously by Barton. Money has not been designated, but Pioneers ran into problems rather than advancing. Quickly regrouping for a counter-attack. Good move, Noggano. On the other hand, BartonPL is really going for all the cut-off points, trying to deny as much resources, of course, to Noggano. And of course, this cut-off point is rather valuable. Could also be a reason why he played the bunker so close, or placed it. Not played it, but so he can actually reinforce and fight next to it, and of course ensure this strategic point remains his. But there we go, advancing. Volksgrenadiers leading the way. MG42 setting up, and of course Veterans 1 again. Increased rate of fire overall, but also increased accuracy. Americans are once more retreating. Jeep getting repaired. And rifle, getting stopped right there by the MG42, and quickly 3 are dead. The might of a Veterans 1 MG42 plus, of course, the Volksgrenadiers helping. This could in fact with BartonPL is unfortunate. Oh, he could be losing them. He could be losing them. Oh no, he looks quite fortunate right there. They do manage to get out of there. Medic bunker up and in safe territory again. Click barrels going up for CommentatorNoggano. And the 16th troops are going down right there, getting burned alive. Not stopping though. Flamethrower engineers ensuring they can't get too close, but there we go. MG42 sending up to flank the position. Or will it? And we are seeing for the Fatherland go up. Rifleman going down. Oh, strafing run right there. Barton has gone airborne in response to Noggano's defensive. And let's go in fact have a look at Barton. Overrunning the Wehrmacht positions once more with a nice flank, although MG42s are turning about and of course can reinforce from here. Still, this position is being held quite nicely from, well, by Barton, and definitely ensuring that Noggano isn't moving much further. We are seeing a recon run, constantly trying to keep in a close eye on, of course, what is Noggano doing, where are his troops. So again, I mean, that's also one of the advantages, of course, of the airborne. It gives you a lot of information about the opponent if you use it properly, but again, going for the few points, Barton being quite nasty when it comes to harassment. At the same time, going for the tank depot himself, although there's definitely going to be some time before he gets a Sherman tank himself.
Ready for battle.
Volksgrenadiers and Riflemen clash in the west, but the Volksgrenadiers are going to need support. And that's not looking to be happening. Jeep once more flanking MG42. Mines going down by Barton. Volksgrenadiers moving in to deal with the threats. We'll be seeing a Panther IV on the Jeep. No, Jeep gets away. Volksgrenadiers not really doing too well, but we are seeing additional troops reinforcing. Holding out nicely in the heavy cover though. But additional reinforcement are on the way for Barton's Riflemen as well. An MG42 might be an idea. And what is this? We are seeing packs going up for Noggano. He is expecting his opponent to throw in some armor soon. Not unusual to see, of course, with all that map control and of course all the BARs. I mean, armor is not so unusual anymore after this patch, which fixed a few things. And we are seeing for the final lane going up. Riflemen are pushed away. Nicely done right there. But Noggano does need to be more aggressive, but then again, I mean, it is a bit difficult with Barton constantly harassing and pressing. But pushing onwards, Noggano is. And meanwhile, Barton is waiting for a Sherman tank. I wager he could have been going for a tank destroyer, but of course a Sherman will have a much greater impact, although the pack might want to consider being a bit more at the front. Setting up here, going for the points. The MG42 at this advanced house. Going to make things a bit more difficult, although more barbed wire might be needed, of course, to harass the movements of the opponent, of course, ensure they can't get quite as easily to that MG42 in the house. Oh! Mine causes the Jeep to go kablooey. Small victory right there. Pioneers though run into a bit of an issue with some riflemen with a BAR. Not quite what they were trained for. Looks like Noggano is training himself some grenadiers. Much more veteran forces of the Volksgrenadier division. Possibly from the Fusilier unit, or the company of which they only had that. In fact, not a battalion like most regular infantry divisions by that time. But they were usually composed of the division's veterans, and were usually also much better equipped and were the ones more likely to actually have assault rifles, if anything. But we are seeing a grenade against Barton's Rifleman trying to dig them out, and Volksgrenadiers setting up for a flank. Good. Oh, that grenade really took out a bite of Barton's Rifleman. At the same time, we are seeing barbed wire going up here. In fact, going to make the attack by Barton much more difficult. Rifleman on the flank getting hit, although these Volksgrenadiers are getting hammered. For the Fatherland could be of use here, or he could. Oh, he's pulling back. Oh, flamethrower engineers getting stopped by another MG42. Volksgrenadiers retreating. This MG42 could in fact be forced out by that engineer squad. Volksgrenadiers are arriving. Grenadiers are moving in as well. Veteran C2 up for Noggano. That's definitely going to make the Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers a bit more difficult to deal with. And the medics, of course, just keep gunning down. Oh, mine goes off, stopping the German infantry, and now we are hearing a Sherman ready. 11th Armoured gets ready to deliver the punch to the Krauts. Still, he is in fact holding both victory points, and Barton is being drained. pack moving up. About time, we are seeing the Sherman moving in through the roads. No mines there to stop it. No Panther either. But we do see a recon run, of course, informing of where it is. Nice coordination right there. And quickly, Barton clears out, and of course also clears out some wire, thus allowing the infantry to much more smoothly move up. The Pioneers constantly run into problem right here on the eastern flank. Barton's riflemen prove themselves to be a nuisance as always. Looks like he's also trained some additional riflemen. In replacement of that Jeep, which went down most horrifically. Bit of resource being floated right there by Barton, though. Oh, Pioneers perhaps trying to salvage that, got killed. Volksgrenadiers moving up, rifle getting stopped by the MG42. Engineers getting gunned down by Volksgrenadiers. Quite a bit of rifle fire right there, and the engineers can't seem to decide what. Oh, strafing run! Oh my goodness! Killing 8 Volksgrenadiers right there. Although, of course, if there were any medics, they might have been able to get quite a few recovered right there, but sadly there's not. So that's quite a nasty blow right there to Noggano and the 16th Volksgrenadier Division. Rifleman pinned, Sherman moving up. Rifleman hitting the flank. We are seeing additional Volksgrenadiers and a Rifleman squad. Sherman moving in. Pack going to hammer away at it. MG42 could get cleared out though. No grenade on the Rifleman as they are advancing. Sherman getting pushed away. Nasty that, Rifleman getting ready to hit the flank. Will the MG42 spot it and stop them? Yes, indeed, and we are seeing for the fatherland going up, extolling the virtues of holding the line to the last man. Medics moving in. And there we go, the flank by Barton was stopped. Pulling into a bit heavier cover, Rifleman getting pushed away. Not looking too great for Noggano at this stage, but still he's holding on. He's not out of this game yet. An additional Sherman on the way, increasing the armored might of Barton. Looks like a Grenadier squad was reformed for Noggano, getting a bit more infantry to take on the armies, the cowboys. And again, going for the fuel point, but this time the Grenadiers will be ready. And of course, Veterans 2, they are going to be much more difficult for Barton's riflemen to deal with, although Veterans 1 and BRs, of course, do help quite a bit. There we go, though, and there we go as well. Barton quickly pulling them out, deciding he can't win this fight, at least not without losing resources compared to what he could do to Noggano. Sherman moving in. Oh, opening up on the Pioneers. Get out of there. And Pack trying to catch that Sherman, but no such luck. And of course now we are seeing a second Sherman arriving, meaning he's going to need more packs, but what luck. He is getting a second Panzer Abwehrkanone. No Panther as of yet. Sherman moves in, 50 caliber mounted rifleman supporting. Bit of a problem right there. And there we go, Sherman coming under fire from our pack, setting up there, but there's nothing covering the pack. Noggano, what are you doing? Where's your infantry support? And the rifle now moving in to deal with it. MG42 moves in, but it might be too late. Grenadiers as well. Volksgrenadiers. And there we go, rifleman back, but the one rifleman down. 2 in fact. Sherman holding out right here, hiding behind the house, but still able to fire on the Germans. But the pack can't hit it on the other hand. Whatever shall Noggano do? Additional smaller fighter engineer force rushing in. Ooh, quickly getting suppressed. Grenadiers not doing too cheerily. Sherman continues to take huge chunks out of it. If only Noggano had some armor himself. But let us go have a look at him, in fact. And we are seeing a battle phase, in fact, on the way. He could soon be getting the Panzer command then. We are seeing another reconnaissance run. Sherman getting hit by the pack, though. Pack, though, getting hit by riflemen. MG42 trying to stop the riflemen out here, pinning them down, in fact. Volksgrenadiers moving in. No munitions at all. But what is this? Grenadiers moving in, and they're both getting equipped with Panzers. Pack, though, cleared out. The other pack nowhere near to be seen. There we go, first Panzer ready. Will it hit? There we go, another Panzer wreck. Damaged engine, damaged engine. Ooh, miss. Not looking good. Riflemen though getting pushed back. Volksgrenadiers, if they could recruit Sherman, veterans you want, but also very low on health. Second Sherman moves in, getting the pack. Looks like the Sherman might get away. In fact, as the second one sets up a diversionary attack to force the other one to get away. Allow it. Absolutely genius. Riflemen though are getting torn up in the frontal assault. And again, the Sherman will make it out of there, albeit a bit damaged. So definitely another successful engagement for Barton. Troops getting reinforced, and Noggano really needs a Panzer command up soon.
Where do you want us? Clear the breach. All get ready to load.
He of course also needs all of his troops reinforced, but there we go, Panzer command up. Grenadiers moving in. American Riflemen continue their little job of harassment right there on the flank. And looks like Barton is setting up for another attack, or at least something to keep Noggano and the 16th Volksgrenadiers a bit occupied. And there we go, Riflemen getting pushed away by Grenadiers. Volksgrenadiers setting up for an assault right there on the Riflemen again. Heavy cover, few BARs, and you can rather do a lot of damage. The Riflemen actually end up pulling away, interestingly enough. Perhaps the MG42 engendered a retreat. Panzer command halfway done.
Now have access to heavy flak weaponry.
And we are hearing flaks getting available to Noggano.
Attack our forward base.
Riflemen down. Rifleman assault streaming in, but getting stuck by the MG42. And what is this? A strafing! Oh my goodness! Again, taking out huge chunks of Barton's forces again. The pack has been left exposed. Noggano does seem to have a bit unfortunate tendency of doing that. MG42 though turning about. Sherman moving in from the north and from the south. Packs are utterly overrun. Chaos ensues. Grenadiers with Panzer jets are the only thing that can currently hold them back, although Panzer command is up. Noggano could soon enough get a Panzer IV, which while not will win him the war, it will definitely help. Volksgrenadiers taking heavy losses. Grenadiers moving in, also taking heavy losses in the process. Oh, just retreat, then retreat. Oh dear, Grenadier squad down. Americans do continue, the MG42 continues to do damage to them. Veteran D2 for the Sherman, increasing penetration, which will be a problem if when Noggano gets himself a Panzer, which is not yet though. Medics look to be, well, completely dead again. Heavy losses amongst the Germans, and it's another assault by Barton stops. Pulls away with a smile, and a third Sherman rolls in, this time though a crocodile. But Noggano definitely needs to work with not exposing his packs quite as much. Still no Panzer IV though. Then again, that might be all the reinforcing he has to do. Let's speed this up. This is actually going to be a long game, so do need to sort of shorten it up where I can. Pioneers getting run off. Small assault right here in the north. Crocodile moving into the base of Noggano and the 16th Volksgrenadiers while hoping for some assistance from the 21st Panzer Division. Oh, the pioneers went down again. Noggano has no pioneers. Rather than stopping the northern prong of Americans, possibly. Except it's finding out the wrong riflemen. Rather than they're getting stopped, though. Ooh, Crocodile getting hammered from several sides by packs.
Our base is under attack.
And now the Crocodile is flanking the pack, burning away the crew. Rifleman moving in to assist.
Volksgrenadiers here.
Grenadiers trying to deal with the rifleman in the north. And there we go, Crocodile out of control, in fact, but the pack at the same moment gets killed. Well, the crew gets killed. Volksgrenadiers moving what remains of this little wood, attacking the rifleman, and there we go. Several Shermans now by Barton moving out with upgraded guns, increasing their armor penetration, and a strafing run stops the Volksgrenadiers again.
Losing a sector.
Grenadiers getting bombarded as this little Sherman platoon advances. Definitely going to be a problem. We are seeing a registered artillery barrage, though, stopping some riflemen. That's good. And we are finally seeing a Panzer IV on the way for Noggano. He might also consider getting his first possible time, get some veterans who want for it. So that's definitely going to be needed, in particular with these Shermans being veterancy, well, having increased guns, and of course the veterancy 2 ones will have an easier time actually penetrating the frontal armor of the Panzer IV. Packs moving up, MG getting hammered. And there we go, a bit of fire. Doing a bit of damage, and there we go, Panzer IV moving forwards. Meanwhile, these riflemen are taking a bit of damage from the Grenadiers.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
And let us speed this up a bit, this little dance. Volksgrenadiers taking heavy losses again. And there we go, the Panzer IV moves in against the riflemen. One man down. Will it get more? And meanwhile, Barton, of course, repairing his Shermans. His most prized asset. Particularly since it's armored division, I suppose. Volksgrenadiers moving up. Grenadiers, packs. This could be a larger assault with a Panzer IV in tow as well. No veterancy on the way for it, though. And, oh, a bombing run. Oh, getting one of the packs. Getting... Oh, my goodness. That rather ruined that assault. In fact, broke it up completely. Although one Sherman is still in dire troubles. Still no veterancy on the way for the Panzer IV. Come on, Noggano. You are going to need it if you want a chance.
Grenadiers reporting full strength.
Volksgrenadiers reporting full strength.
Speeding up again. Bit Shermans moving westwards and registered again, forcing with the rifleman. Grenadiers moving in with Panther in hands. Oh, veterancy free for the Sherman, increasing damage by 25%. Now it's definitely going to be imperative that Noggano gets some veterancy soon. Otherwise, that Sherman will definitely be having a very easy time with this Panzer IV. Or any Panzer IVs he gets. Grenadiers to continue the hunt. Panzer IV actually moving in. Oh dear, looks like this Sherman might escape. That would definitely be a shame, and again a bit of a problem for Noggano. Other Sherman moving in, veterancy 2, flamethrower engineers charging in. If the Panzer IV could get off a shot, he could knock it out, but no. Pulls back, pulls back. What does he? And meanwhile, the Americans are continuing a bit with a hold up there. Still, he is draining our victory points. Barton can't really hold it, he's sort of more just attacking rather than defending. Harassing, he can't really sort of mount a solid assault against Noggano, and he probably knows that, but he's definitely grinding Noggano down. In fact, it's time to have a look at Barton once more. Pack firing away. Nice hit on that Sherman. Ooh, very nice hits. But come on, Noggano, you need to oust the Americans right there. Get the fuel back. Get the victory point back. Looks like that Panzer IV tried to take on the Americans, but again, all those Shermans, in particular that one, is going to be a problem. What is this? We're seeing something dropping in. Supply drops. Now we go Rifle hitting the flank, but it is not going quite well. MGs and Grenadiers stopping them in their tracks. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers moving in to the wall to the east as well. Running into the house though, taking up a nice commanding position. Nothing going on in the base of Noggano.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory point.
Panzer IV moving in. Rifle. Ooh. Mine goes off to a lucky Panzerschreck hit. Grenadiers down to 2 men. Heavy MG fire tearing through them. Rifle squad retreating. Oh dear, oh dear. Very low health. Very low health. If the German infantry catches them, they might not make it home. We are seeing or hearing a strafing run. There we go. Oh, it gets no one. It gets no one. And instead, Barton loses a rifleman squad. That's anything but good. He is flooding quite a bit of resources, though. Might consider getting another Sherman. Airborne infantry. Anything, just come on. Barton, push. For heaven's sake, push. MG squad cleared out. Though Sherman from the south, the veterans who 3-1. The ace moving in. Panzer IV trying to hold out, but the pack is supporting it. Though already heavy damage to that Panzer IV. For the fatherland, making the Grenadiers a bit harder to hit. For the Shermans. Flamethrower engineers swarming in from the north. An absolutely nasty assault here. Engineers still quickly get suppressed. Some of them find themselves almost dead. And what is this? We are seeing a Panther, Panzerkampfwagen 5 arriving. That should definitely ease things up a bit for Noggano. If you can use it probably right from here, pushing on, but there's a press. They are in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere. Getting hammered down, taking heavy losses. Sherman's getting away. Panther though moving in. It could get a kill. It could get a kill. Come on, los geht's. Achtung, Achtung. Amerikanischer Panzer. And there we go, moving in. Getting off a nice good hit on that Sherman. Oh, Sherman down to a pack. Veterans, 2 Sherman gone while another one is arriving. It looks like more, in fact, on the way. No, he's actually getting a weapon support center. He's probably going to get some snipers to perhaps snipe his way through Noggano's defenses. And he's also getting himself some anti-tank guns from what I can hear, dropping them in. That's also going to help. Now that Noggano does seem a bit more on the offensive with armor. Again, veterancy, good. Infantry spearheading the route. Might be an idea for Noggano to now consider actually getting a half-track and perhaps getting the Stuka zu Fuß to actually deal with the anti-tank guns, taking them out without actually having to send in infantry and expose them to the Shermans. These Grenadiers might want to consider retreating. Retreat, Rückzug. Flamethrower engineers are streaming in. Get out of there, Noggano. Get out of there. That was nasty. In fact, let's just speed up again. Need to keep things a bit smooth so I can actually sort of process it properly without a lot of troubles. Veterans 1 though up for the Panzers. This is good. Definitely going to help a bit. And there we go, sniper on the way for Barton. Barton though is losing victory points pretty quickly. Panther providing covering fire, but Noggano does need to be a bit more aggressive. He does need to land some sort of solid punch on Barton, who is down to 3 rifleman squads from 4. And he certainly has lost a few Shermans. Grenadiers getting ready for another push. And a Sherman coming under fire. Panzer IV are pulling in. Heavy damage to that Sherman, in fact. But will we be seeing a large push by Noggano right here? Although he should be careful to spread out his men. There are strafing runs and such abound. Never heard that one before. Do you really think a helmet will stop a bullet? Well, this helmet will. Volksgrenadiers advancing under the cover of the Panther. We are seeing a bombing run, right? Oh, dear. And again, the Pioneers seem to be suffering the most. Panzer IV pulling in. Anti-tank and firing away at Panther. Repair bunker would be a great idea, actually, for Noggano at this stage. Sherman advancing. Panzer IV trying to hold it. Where is the pack? Oh, it's there. But Noggano needs to get his Panther to safety. He needs also to pull up the Grenadiers on a flank assault. Come on. But again, he would really benefit, I think, from either a mortar, just that half-track with a Wurfrahmen 40 upgrade. Mind you, more Shermans by the time you know of the fighting in Lorraine, Arnhem, and, well, in the Ardennes were getting upgraded with the long-range guns. Grenades on the engineers, although some commanders rather refuse to switch them out because they rather like their anti-infantry capabilities, in which the 76mm gun had a bit more problem with, due to the higher velocity needed. Of course, thing is, the higher velocity a shell is experiencing, the thicker
Our forces are taking
its sort of coating needs to be, otherwise, I mean, it's going to crack up while flying through the air. So that means less high explosives for high explosive shells. Medics going down, Sherman pulling in, but they were certainly getting more Shermans with different upgrades. And that was also rather the time that Calliope appeared, and also the Jumbo, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, a lot of the sort of other armor they actually got that was any decent sort of appeared by that period, and not Normandy, which of course does make one wonder why they never then really sort of bothered. But then again, they could do that for another game. I mean, let's not count that out. But Noggano pulling forwards again. Sherman getting hammered with Panzer rockets rather than getting out. Anti-tank and finding way to the flanks. The armor, of course, being held back, although another Panzer IV has arrived. Grenade, rifleman. Ooh, nasty grenade right there. These grenadiers don't need to get out of there. Medic bunker is still standing somewhat. Troops reinforcing. Bit of this and that. Let's go return to Noggano, and again let's speed this up a wee bit. So the armor continues to arrive from Barton, from the American Armor Division, and now the snipers arrive as well. And again, I do think Noggano would definitely benefit from a half-track with some rocket launchers on it. He needs to be able to sort of hammer his opponent with artillery, and sadly though he doesn't quite have that option. Grenadiers are launching assault right in front of the engineers, though, into the house. That's not good. Others are continuing, hammering the Sherman right there with Panzer X, the ace Sherman, I suppose you can call it. Continues with 37 kills. Engineers, in fact, could get shot up. Grenadiers are not doing too well either. Sniper continues taking a lot of shots away. 2, in fact, up for BartonPL. Another Grenadier squad reform, giving him actually 5 Grenadier squads. That's quite impressive. And this Sherman actually loses to the Panzer IV loses to the Sherman albeit that anti-tanker might have had a hand in it. Then again, the increased gun right there on the Sherman definitely gives it an advantage against the Panzer IV. Grenadiers getting reformed again.
We are losing ground.
MG42 in trouble. All those snipers right here getting suppressed. And we are here seeing a bit of registered artillery again. Half-track might be the better choice. Victory point being harassed again. In fact, he's losing control of all victory points. Not really looking at Noggano. And again, speeding up a bit. Again, the shorter I can make it, at least for a certain limit, the better.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
And there we go, the counter-attack by Noggano towards victory point. Trying to clear out the anti-tank, and that runs into a lot of riflemen. Sherman still waiting right there on the flank. And Noggano is still repairing, but looks like it's fine. He is repaired, in fact, although he still lost a Panzer IV, he still has a Panther and another Panther. Sherman's moving in. Going to protect that central victory point. Panthers need to protect. Grenadiers moving up. Veterancy free Sherman with 40 kills. Absolutely taking a huge chunk out of the Volksgrenadier division. And it's 21st Panzer Division support. There we go, those Sherman actually getting ambushed by a horde of Panzer Shreks. We are seeing a reconnaissance or strafing around, not entirely sure. Volksgrenadier squad down. They must have manned something. He still has his 3 Volksgrenadiers. In fact, he's got 8 infantry squads. Absolutely insane. Certainly rare. And the Shermans are getting pushed back, pushed forward with that Panther. If you can get that American armor, you could definitely turn things around. 4 vetsmen now. Push up the Grenadiers in support. Oh dear, Panther running into a lot of heavy fire. Again, I mean, note the Shermans do have a much easier time penetrating, in particular with Veterancy 2. And Sherman out of control. Veterancy 3 Sherman, the Sherman ace. Oh, Hickory, I suppose you'd call him, is dead, blown up. Vengeance has been secured by the 16th and the 21st. Bit of a nasty loss right there. Second Sherman also taking quite a beating, although I imagine more replacements will be on the way. And we are in fact seeing Noggano rushing straight for the victory points right here on the flank. He's really trying to sort of keep it up, although I think he might have benefited from a larger force. Perhaps with that Panzer IV in support, but then that's left to cover the victory point over here. Then again, he might benefit from just having an MG42 over there. Not so much. Veterancy feedback. Oh, strafing run. Oh, heavy losses to the Grenadiers. Oh, the only one retreated. Oh, no. The rest getting gunned down as they're covering for their lives. And the snipers keep raking up kills. Veterancy 1 and 2. Rather moving in towards the north, but they are going to get the surprise of their lives. A Panzer IV guards the point. Like a dragon guards its treasure. But another wave of attackers, this time mere Volksgrenadiers versus Veterancy 2 riflemen with BARs. Will it be enough? Will the Volksgrenadiers overcome their American opposition? And meanwhile, a small defensive line is being established right here, although a bit more improvised so far. And Rifleman squad goes down to the Panzer IV. Riflemen have been pushed back. Volksgrenadiers going for the point. Render it neutral. They might even seize it. Snipers continue killing away, and but this... Oh dear, Shermans are arriving armored support. Moving in to dig out the Volksgrenadiers. Oh dear, squad down. Nice hit from the Sherman. Second squad forced away. And another Grenadier squad reformed. That medic bunker definitely has paid off for itself. I'm probably getting he's got like 6 or 7 Grenadiers out of that. That's a lot of casualties recovered instead of left to die in the streets and fields and beaches and all that. trying to recover the Panzer IV, but we are seeing Hellcats now arriving. Still no half-tracks. I really definitely think the Stukas of Fuss would be a huge asset. Pushing in, but we are now seeing a machine gun placement up from Barton to protect that central victory point. Breaking up the assault of Noggano, but then again he's only starting one part of it. Strafing, oh, saving the snipers with a strafing. Oh, Grenadiers killed by a Sherman again. Oh, no. Definitely not looking up for Noggano. He is taking heavy, severe losses in the face of Barton's armored might. Anti-tank in advance, though, gets cleared out. Oops, forgot to slow down a bit. Speeding up again and slowing down. Engineers attacking up through the east. Grenadiers still moving in. Not a lot of resources. I mean, there's a lot of now upkeep for Noggano, actually sort of slowing down the resource acquisition, how much of course you can get. Well, of course, I mean, it's not really affecting BartonPL the same way, because it does have the supply which actually negates a lot of the upkeep when you have enough upgrades, which of course is a slightly fun thing. So now in fact it's the Germans who are suffering under upkeep for the units, and again without armor support the Shermans simply tear through with the Grenadiers, and again going for that victory point while under not really going to work. And another Veterancy 3 Sherman. They just keep popping up. Troops reinforcing. Anti-tank gunfire. Oh dear, this Pax, yes, getting sniped. And rather looks like Noggano's not bothered actually even trying to counter them. Perhaps with the sniper zone or something else. But again, half-track Stukas of Fuss. I really think that's something he could have done with a lot earlier. Would definitely have kept up the pressure on Barton. Might even caught a sniper. Definitely also cleared up some of those anti-tank guns and such. Rifle sneaking westwards. Once more going to run into that Panzer IV. Panzer IV outfiring H. Well, Model H, I believe. There was also the J, which was sort of a much more economy model, although for some reason it actually had a larger fuel tank, which was rather a bit pointless. Well, they didn't have that much fuel by then. Still, it had a wire mesh armored skirts and actually slower turret traversal. Sort of funny little details. But essentially was much cheaper to make Panzer IV. Volksgrenadiers once more pulling up. Once more being sent into the front lines. And we are seeing a second Panther out from Noggano, I think. Was that the same one? Was the same one? I thought he might be getting another one. Hellcat moving in, and this Panzer IV is definitely running into problems from that. As a tank destroyer can reasonably will take on, in fact, a Panzer IV and defeat it. Which is a bit unfortunate for the Panzer IV. Looks like we might be seeing additional armoured forces though from the 21st, although they have already lost quite a few Panzer IVs. Snipers continue raking up kills. And Barton is definitely holding the centre quite strongly, quite viciously. Panther moving up to actually support an infantry push there, and that's good. Well, the funny thing is, I think Noggano might have been able to actually afford sending armor out here to support this push if he'd actually bothered perhaps a Flak 88 right there to hold the centre. And of course also sparing up things a bit there. That might actually have worked.
What are my coordinates?
There we go, Shermans running into the Panther. Panzer Command still working hard. Grenadiers moving up, but they're getting sniped. Oh dear, trying to get the anti-tank on Grenadier squad down. Secure that. What is this? What is this?
Take cover.
Ooh! 200mm rocket barrage, I mean 280 actually. Clear out the anti-tank gun. I think he lost a sniper as well. Didn't quite get the Sherman, but he did knock it out of commission. Panther continues against the Veterans 3-1 though. Forcing the Sherman away with the Panther. Second Panther pulling up. This could be what Noggano needs. Panzer IV here also needs to be pulled into the punch, though he needs to be made. Ooh, nice move right there. 30 caliber set to cover the western victory point. Airborne prime protection. Panther charges in, going for the Sherman. In fact, the other Veterans 3 Sherman is down. Looks like Noggano's finally got some movement into things. About goddamn time. Sherman down, but there's still the anti-tank guns. He needs support. He needs that Panzer IV. He needs infantry, but it's nowhere to be seen. And that Panther is on fire, literally. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be doing much in this case. So he has managed to clear out that machine gun emplacement. Oh dear, and where's that Panzer IV? Grenadiers getting reinforced. Machine gun emplacement going down, in fact. Anti-tank is pulling up. That's going to be a problem for the Panthers. Infantry sneaking in with sniper support. Veterans 3 riflemen all the way almost. Push up through the right. Panzer IV still not moving. Noggano's afraid of fully investing in one punch. I think that could be what's losing him. It's essentially his cautiousness. Another machine gun emplacement though immediately goes up. So once more prove itself a nuisance. Volksgrenadiers moving in but getting stopped by a sea of fire. Spewed out by Barton's engineers. Additional snipers up for Barton.
Our forces are taking casualties.
And we are seeing a bombing run against... Oh dear, he's caught the Panzers.
Enemy unit down.
And Panther down, other Panther main gun destroyed. Oh no. Oh no, indeed. Had he had a flak, that might actually have been able again to at least somewhat deal with it. Tank destroyer moving in. Panther in trouble. Panzer IV moving in. Hellcat down, but that was very close. Medic bunker is down though. Looks like the final line has finally crumbled for Noggano. Riflemen saying through what's left. Snipers keep sniping away. Anti-tank guns, and again getting another Sherman now that the Panthers are largely history. Panzer IV again definitely could have helped earlier. Anti-tank guns getting sorted out.
Weapon crew reporting casualties.
And another Panzer IV from Noggano.
Enemy unit down.
And another retreat from Noggano. Spartan once more pushes forwards. Panzer IV's being prepared for one last push. Panther also ready. So move that Panther with what remains of the infantry. Panzer IV's moving ahead. Panther still not moving. Oh dear, this could be a very sad ending for that those Panzer IVs. And Fraps are sidetracked up. Come on, Fraps, you can do it. There we go. And again, my apologies for having to speed up this bit, but again, I want to ensure that I can actually sort of show it all without having to cut off huge chunks as I had to do last time. Panzer IV's running into a lot of trouble. Panther moving forwards, trying to catch the snipers again. Looks like this is the end.
Infantry squad reporting casualties.
We've got an anti-tank now still. Barton hopes the line, and there we go, GG. And of course, what can we learn from this? What won Barton? I mean, it was rather the aggressive movement. He didn't sort of try to hold ground, he just kept harassing, attacking, and sort of made things miserable for Noggano until he got the Shermans. Then he rather began, you know, really punching hard. But he wasn't sort of banging his head at the wall into any time. He was sort of harassing, sneaking in, attacks from here and there. Noggano, on the other hand, was way too conservative. He was not really attacking when he could have, and he lacked artillery. He really could have done either with a mortar early on, at least a sort of Stukas of Fuß, that is the Wurfarm in 40 on the half track, you know, later on to sort of bombard and blow him out of positions. But there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.